My name is Anya Wasko. I live in San Francisco, California. I've been diagnosed with dyslexia and ADHD, and I teach special education to 4th and 5th grade students.
We knew from kindergarten there was an issue, but it wasn't until 3rd grade that it actually was confirmed.
For me, it was a whole lot about me too. I was not diagnosed until I was in college. I thought I was stupid. I basically said to myself, my kid is going to be okay. I am never going to have her feel like I felt.
My mom and I see the world in the same way. Our brains work in the same way. And that really bonded us because for the first, 13, 15 years of my life, she was the only other person I knew that saw the world the way I did.
It was remarkable because she could read larger words,
Yeah.
more complicated words, but she couldn't remember from line to line how to say THE or a lot of the simpler words.
Every day when I got home from school, my mom and I sat down at the kitchen table and would work on whatever homework. Or on the weekends, my mom and dad would literally trade off. It was so routine that this is just what we do. I come home and my mom's there and she works on homework with me. Or if something's really not working, she goes and she works with the teacher to figure out how we can fix it, how we can change it.
What we started to do in order to make sure that she kept up, and we did it actually all the way through college, was we read her textbooks. It was the only way that she was ever going to be able to process that information. I think she was probably one of the few kids who went through school who read all of the assignments before class.
She spent a lot of time figuring out how I learn and a lot of time figuring out how to explain that to my teachers.
She knew she had to speak up for herself.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
And this was something we would talk about at home, and something that if you have a problem, go to your teacher. What do you mean that's not working?
They trained me to be a self-advocate. I had to go in to explain what kind of things I needed, how my brain worked, and why I needed certain things. And walk into my teacher and be like, you're not going to be able to read anything I write. I'm dyslexic, so how do we want to address this issue? And together we figured out that I would take my tests in class with everyone else. If I needed extra time, I could stay in at recess. But then at either recess or lunch, depending on when class hit, I would go in and then I would read him what I wrote. The first time I really heard other people's coming of age or coming out as dyslexic stories, it was eye-opening, but it was also horrifying. All of these kids for years thought they were stupid or less than. Looking back on it, that was when I realized I have to fix something. It took me a couple more years to figure out that teaching was how I was gonna do that, but that was the first time I realized there is a massive problem. Everyone should grow up feeling that they can do it and feeling that they can be successful and they're loved and supported and accepted. I knew growing up my dad didn't always get me, but knowing that, I also knew he never thought less of me. He never doubted me, and he never thought that it was a problem. My upbringing definitely, it informs pretty much every action I take in the classroom. It's wonderful because I also feel like I'm paying it forward.
The nice thing is that there's things like Understood that are out there now. Learn everything you can learn about your child and the world and what's out there. There are just so many things that you can use.
You're not broken. This is just different. It's not bad or good, or it's just different. And it has nothing to do with how you are as a person.
You always worry when you're a parent how your kid is going to be in the longer term, and I don't worry about that now.